Hey, Bogdan here, where we make algebra easy for you. In today's video, we'll go over division of rational expressions and with no more mistakes. That's the goal here. So let's dive in. So dividing rational expressions with no more mistakes. So that's the key. So do you remember how to divide fractions? If you do, that's fantastic. If you don't, just to recall quickly, this is the division of one fraction divided by another. So quickly we do the following. We convert into a multiplication with the following change. The divisor now becomes the reciprocal of the original one. So C over D becomes D over C. And then we proceed into multiplication across. Now, that's when you work with fractions. You don't need to worry about restrictions. You just would follow the potential simplification steps if applicable. And that's basically the whole idea. To divide means to multiply. So division into multiplication is the first step that you want to do it. Then you factor if possible, and you're thinking about the restrictions at the same time. Very, very, very important. To simplify is always done whenever applicable. So if you cannot simplify, obviously you would not. And then you multiply across and ta-da! So this is your strategy. So when you follow those steps, you will never make a mistake. So let's dive into the beautiful example. In this example, what you can see is the following question. Rational expression x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 3 is divided by x plus 2 over 18 minus 6x. So you remember the strategy. You keep the first rational expressions the way it is. You convert division into multiplication, and you flip upside down, if you will, the divisor so that it is now 18 minus 6x on top divided by x plus 2 on the bottom. Boom. At the same time, right here, and in the beginning, you have to keep in mind the restrictions. Because sometimes when you simplify later, you're going to lose a lot of potential pitfalls where the restrictions are supposed to be stated. And you know that already from the previous video. If not, please go and review. So x is not equal to positive 3. Why is that? Because right here, positive 3 creates a problem. Positive 3 coincidentally also would create a problem. And now when we flip, so now we have x plus 2, so negative 2 is part of the restriction. So only 2 restrictions in this particular case. So let's proceed to the next step. You attempt factoring when applicable, of course. So difference of squares, we'll be talking about in another video. If you're not familiar how to find factors using difference of squares, so please make sure to see that. But for the time being, x squared minus 4 converts to a product of x minus 2 binomial times x plus 2. So x minus 3 stays. Then you take care of the second rational expressions. You factor if possible. So the denominator x plus 2 is done. Nothing to work here. But between 18 and 6x, the number 6 is a common factor. So you take it outside and you have a beautiful factored form. So in the next step, I'm going to purposely, and I already did that, copy exactly like character for character to show you that x plus 2 right here and x plus 2 from the bottom, because this is now a multiplication. We have no addition of terms, no subtraction. So everything is being multiplied beautifully. So x plus 2 on top and x plus 2 from the bottom gets canceled. So eliminate, and then you have a simplified version in the line below, with one slight not mistake, with slight change, of course. So you see that -6 appeared magically, and the binomial changed its form from 3 minus x into -3 plus x. So let me go over that quickly. So on this part of the screen, you see -a, as an example, can be always expressed as -1 times +a. So this is the secret that you may not be familiar or maybe already know. This is useful sort of a form for us to take out -1. So we don't magically pull out -1 out of nowhere. We understand that -a is equal -1 times +a. So that -1 can be recognized as a common factor. So we did take out -1 from this bracket. So -3 to +x is change. And you have -1 in front of 6 because 6 was multiplied by -1, right? So this is how that took place. So this is very, very important step for you to remember. We canceled x plus 2, so we have 1 left. Sometimes this is a very common mistake that students make. When you cancel, you don't get 0, you get 1. Because there was a factor 1 times x plus 2. So x plus 2 is gone, 1 is left. So now we have, and the line below, which is in my case the top of the screen on the right side, we rewrite the question so that we see the steps. X minus 2 is copied, x minus 3, -6, and look what happens right here. So -x plus 3, going back, was converted into -3 plus x, and then within the brackets you change the order of appearance of terms, right? Because you can say -3 plus x or x minus 3, it is the same thing. If you think about it, 2 plus -3, if you think as an example, is the same thing as -3 plus 2. So that's the secret. You can always change the order within the same side of any polynomial. So x minus 3 and x minus 3 from the bottom now is recognized a common factor, and boom, you cancel this. And now you have a simplified version of that question, which shows -6 times x minus 2, because we left with this part and that part on top, over 1. So you don't want to leave it divided by 1 because that's not really fancy way of finishing the questions. You can leave it -6 times x minus 2 in brackets like that, or you can proceed and you can multiply -6 times x and -6 times -2, which will give you 12 minus 6. And that concludes the question. So hopefully everything makes sense now. So while you're learning, I want you to continue your learning journey by doing this practice questions. Remember, we implement by applications. We have to learn by repetition. Hopefully you can do that questions. Ask any questions in the comments, share that video, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.